The desert is home to some fascinating animals, despite its excessive heat and water scarcity. But you'll be sorry if you get too close to these top 10 most dangerous desert animals in the world. Let's kick things off with some good news. The Gila monster doesn't want to bite you. These desert creatures represent one of 2 venomous lizards in North America. And guess what? They're extremely shy and will spend a greater percentage of their lives in underground burrows. However, you may be unlucky to encounter one when they come out occasionally for a soak in the warm desert sun. The Gila monster is not the type to back out from a fight if it means their survival. A single bite from this lizard is enough to deliver serious pain and great injury. However, the real battle is getting out of its grip. The Gila monster starts with a warning where it will hiss loudly and possibly back away slightly. However, if this doesn't send the right message, it attacks and latches on, chewing on the wound while releasing nerve poison into it. It will only let go if it feels less threatened. Yes, the sidewinding movement of this snake is entertaining to watch, but that changes as soon as you see its triangular-shaped head moving in your direction in attack mode. However, this style of movement isn't just for your entertainment. Since this 25-inch or 64-centimetre long snake lives mostly in the desert, it can be difficult for this creature to navigate around easily as the sands of the desert shift around with every gust of wind. The traditional slithering motion is therefore not great for ground that shifts a lot. Instead, this rattlesnake moves along sideways, a motion that lets it travel easily as only a small part of its body hits the ground at any one time. This is the origin of its name. Although the typical prey of the sidewinder snake are lizards, birds and rodents, these shy snakes can deliver venom through their bite if they ever feel threatened or frightened. The idea of a kissing bug might sound cute, but don't let the name fool you. If you've ever heard of Chagas disease, here's the culprit in charge of spreading this deadly disease that could exist in the body without symptoms until the victim's heart is completely infected. Despite being about the size of a penny, this pest, which is mostly found in the Sonoran Desert, was named the kissing bug because it bites people on the face. As it feasts on human blood, they deposit a parasite on the skin that enters into the wound and then the bloodstream of the victim. And that's when things start to get really ugly. Slowly and carefully, the parasite destroys the heart as it spreads the Chagas disease that can lead to a cardiac arrest or an enlarged colon. Imagine all of these things being packed into such a tiny little package. Living within the arid hot deserts of Central Australia is the dingo, which looks a lot like a cross between a wolf and a dog. These opportunistic predators are not the best kinds of animals to come across, as they have been known to attack livestock, pets and of course, humans when provoked. Australia's native wild dog usually travels in packs, led by a dominant dingo couple that are mates for life. There's a famous story of a dingo eating a baby in 1980 when the parents of a little girl left her unattended in a tent. Unfortunately, this story is true, but it's only a hint of how brutal dingoes can be. Remember the dominant couple in each pack? Well, the female gets rid of the offspring of her packmates, while these females help to care for her pups since hers are the only ones that are left to live. Oh, never get on the wrong side of a dingo. But we don't stop at dingoes, folks. Wait till you see number 1 on our list. This reptile has the most toxic venom of any snake, enough to kill hundreds of fully grown people. Crikey! Now, remember to share this with your friends and chuck us a cheeky like. Oh, by the way, have you subscribed yet? Let's talk about the most venomous scorpion species in the entire North American continent. The Arizona bark scorpion can be found all around the Arizona desert and sometimes make their way into homes where it's tough to get rid of them. So what makes them so deadly? Let's start with those large pincers and the ominous stinger that delivers intense pain with every sting. For an insect that's typically about 2 inches, that's only 5 centimetres in length, they deliver an interesting package of swelling, numbness and tingling if you get in their bad books. These can last anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, with disastrous consequences if not treated promptly. Usually, stings from the juvenile scorpion are more painful and deadly, as these can't control how much venom they release. An easy way to identify this bark scorpion is to look out for its yellow-brown stripes. Hey, aren't these supposed to be the cute, flightless birds? with powerful legs that can travel at impressive speeds, right? Well, as interesting as they are, ostriches can be very dangerous under specific circumstances. Typically, they try to avoid humans and predators by running at high speed as fast as 40 miles per hour. That's 64 kilometers per hour. However, when running doesn't seem to be an option at that point, ostriches will face their opponent and deliver a painful kick one leg at a time. Whoa! With forward kicks, their huge claws come out to play, and these 4-inch or 10-centimetre sharp claws can cause deadly injuries when they break into the skin. So as tempted as you are to go in for a closer look, just don't. Strap yourself in, folks. We're almost at number 1. Now, make sure you're subscribed, good, and share this with your friends, good, and chuck us a cheeky like because you're watching it now anyway, aren't you? And up next are these tiny creatures that seem harmless at first until they launch a group attack. Whoa, danger, danger, danger. The Sonoran Desert houses some of the most aggressive and dangerous animals within that region, and one of them is the fire ant. Yes, these little creatures with the red and black coloration on their hard exoskeleton may not look like much, but your greatest mistake will be to underestimate them. These creatures are fully aware of their size and become very aggressive when anyone or anything disturbs their nest. When provoked, they prefer to attack as groups or colonies while releasing pheromones that will attract other members to join in the attack with no signs of stopping. As soon as they get you, these fire ants will sting so many times that all you can do is howl in pain. Those stings are extremely painful, let me tell you, leading to redness, swelling and itching. They also release venom, which can cause extreme allergic reactions that lead to breathing issues, slurred speech, and sometimes even death. Beware in small packages. For an animal that is responsible for at least 100 attacks within North America every year, the western diamondback rattlesnake has a really scary reputation. The sound of a rattlesnake is unmistakable, and this species is the second longest venomous snake on the continent, with its close relative, the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, being the longest. These terrifying reptiles, with their large spade-shaped heads and alternating black and white bands on the end of their tails, can grow as long as 6 feet. That's 183 centimetres. They will aggressively stand their ground and strike whenever they feel threatened. In a split second, the western diamondback can leave a fatal bite that releases up to 350 milligrams of venom into its victim. This is typically reserved for their diet of small mammals, including rabbits, chipmunks and mice. However, these can be lethal to humans that are unfortunate enough to cross its path too. How can so much danger be packed into such a cute little package? That might be the first thought that pops into your head when you look at the brightly coloured bands and smooth scales on the coral snake. These bold black and red bands, broken by narrower pale yellow bands, are the distinctive features of this snake, found mostly in the desert southwest of the United States and the Sonora Desert of northwestern Mexico. There's no easier way to say this. You should never approach a coral snake in the wild. A single bite from this reptile is so fatal that it makes it difficult to breathe. The victim would need to be put on a ventilator, and everyone knows how difficult it can be to find one out in the wild. Thankfully, their habitat makes it difficult to have frequent human interactions, and that means they are responsible for fewer deaths so far. Say g'day to the most venomous snake in the world, and of course, it's found in Australia. The venom in the inland taipan is more powerful than what you would find in most snakes, including the king cobra and the black mamba. And that's because they have so much venom, enough to kill more than 250 humans. This fierce little snaky only needs one bite to subdue its prey. But the interesting thing is that it will continue to attack as many times as possible. With remarkable precision, it will bite the same location multiple times while also injecting venom multiple times. Crikey, give it a rest. Looks like this reptile likes to be thorough. Usually, it will take only 40 minutes for an inland taipan bite to kill a fully grown human, and given that they live mostly in remote areas, your chances of getting medical attention on time is remarkably low. Cheers for watching and good on you, mate. Now, if you want to be a cool cobber, give this next video a burl. This video is sponsored by the Behaviour Doctors, #1 ranked dog psychology and behaviour modification experts. Over 5,200 dogs rehabilitated in the last 18 years. All were 70 to 90% improved in 2 to 4 days. Resolve your dog's unwanted behaviours today. Email info@thebehaviourdogtours.com.